It's your boy Astro coming at you tonight with another Ask Astro. This is the third in a series of three of these Ask Astros that I'm going to be doing tonight. I hope you're having a wonderful evening where you are in the world. You know, we are people with different time zones here, so we want to take that in consideration. We want to, take that in consideration that you guys will take your time to whatever you're doing to be on this live with me tonight. And like before I go into like our session or the people that have not done their Ask Astro, okay, before we get into it, because I have a few that needs to be, there's about 5 more people that didn't have their questions answered who send their cash app. I want to honor your contribution to my life, and I'm going to continue to do the readings for you guys. Okay, so I just want to say, and I like to start with a wise saying. Okay, and I would say this, and this has to do with past lives. This has to do with your experience as a human being. Love is timeless. It's not really connected to what somebody does for you. That's what the ego have you to think. The ego wants you to think that somebody has to do something for you in order for you to love them. When in fact, love is timeless and it has no distance. Okay. Time is not, life, the fact that love is not subject to just time and space. It's a beautiful thing. You can see a baby walking with his mother and feel tremendous love for a child that's never done nothing for you. You can see an old lady crossing the street and feel this empathy within you for you to help her across the street. You can see somebody in danger and feel an obligation to help them. And we don't understand where it comes from. We think it's empathy, is guilt, or whatever you may think, but it really is love. You have no idea how complex our souls are, how we've chosen to experience different things in different lifetimes and sum it all together for this reality that we live in. And I know some of you are still walking around with the feeling of hate and anger, animosity towards people. And maybe that's your experience as a human being. Maybe that's the lesson that you have to learn. However, is the very reason why we are here. I want to say this, and I want to say this as plainly as possible. There is a reason why no human being has left this earthly plane, even though they tell us that they have. They say that, man has gone to the moon, but NASA has no recollection of that. They let you know that the man has never really left the earth permanent. And, so there's a connection between the flat earthers and the round earth. And I would say this, based upon my experience, is that there is a control around this earth, this realm that we live in. And this electromagnetic field that stops people from exploring out is not subject to love. The energy and the vibration of love can pass through this electromagnetic energy. Between that and fear are the only two vibrations that could go past this field that stops and domes this earth. As long as you are anchored with the energy of fear, hate, animosity, resentment, frustration, any of those lower vibrations will stop you from leaving this earthly plane. You are in what I consider a matrix. But this matrix is set up by source. People say it's set up by the Anunnaki. Some people say it's set up by the draconian uh, alien species to keep human beings trapped. I would say this. Based upon past life regressions and quantum healing and going into the Akashic records, understanding that this place, as long as you could keep resentment, anger, animosity, any of those vibrations of not just those, but more lower vibrations, you will never pass through. You will be caught in a cycle of reincarnation on this earth over and over again. This isn't fake. This isn't some fairy tale that you may hear. This isn't something that you could read in a book, or maybe it is. Maybe the ancients before our time have given you warnings that the only thing that survives is love. For those who are here on earth with me now, the reason why you are here is because there's something that you kept. And when I say that's something, I mean that's a lower vibrational emotion. People feel attacked when I say that over emotionalism is the reason why you're here on this earth. It is. As long as you continue to let your emotions lead the way, you will continue to reincarnate on this earth over and over and over again. The only thing that can cause you to leave this earthly plane, say it again, is love. Love. And I mean love for humanity, love for oneself, love for the experience that you're in. Love is the only escape you have from this firmament, this dome, this prison, this school, this asylum, this farm, this club, this college called Earth. I implore you, if there are people that you're still holding emotions like sadness and frustration, guilt, animosity, resentment, jealousy, envy, do yourself a favor. Release those emotions. Or I'll be giving you this same speech in the next lifetime with another body. Because I've been giving you this speech for as long as you've been existing. That's right. For as long as you've been on this earth, you are here listening to me because at one point you were listening to me before. That's the reason why my voice sounds a little familiar to you. And it isn't the sound of the voice. It's not just the tone of the voice. It's the vibration. It never changes. The soul imprint never changes. So, like I said, I implore you, that people that you still feel a sense of resentment, just find yourself releasing those emotions so that you can reconnect with Source, explore the universe, and every other planet that we have here. They're real, just like you. All right, that's my message for the night. Let's get into these natal charts. All right, so Keisha, my spiritual advisor. I'm gonna call Keisha my spiritual advisor. That's my spiritual advisor, y'all. Spiritual advisor, can you tell me the next person that's supposed to be getting their chart? There are 3 questions. We want to help them out. That's right. And also, yeah, if you have a request, if you want to have your chart read, if you want your 3 questions to be answered, You can send your Cash App to $Astro Einstein. That's $20. And you have 3 questions: your date of birth, time of birth, and place of birth. Your real name, not just your Facebook name. To Leslie Demetrio Brown. That's my Facebook official name. And we'll get to you. So, Kim Patterson, I hope you're here. We're going to explore your 3 questions. Let me take a look. I think you sent it to me through Messenger. And that's what we're going to do. Kim Patterson. I see that you're on. Kim, that's pretty good. That's pretty wild. All right, so Arisa, Lanice, you're about to drop your baby. That's pretty cool. All right, Kim, congratulations on your baby, by the way. We're going to look at Kim, your chart. I'm going to put it on the screen so we can all take a look at your chart. This is a moment of vulnerability. Don't be afraid. Nothing and no one can do you anything. I don't know why they normally share that sort of fear. Oh, I don't want to be vulnerable because they're going to take advantage of me and my chart. Oh, it's not happening. Now, the question that you have, Miss Patterson, I see you're here, is let me just make sure that it is you. The question is, what does love life look like in the future? Will they be intelligent? Oh, you mean will your partner be intelligent? Okay. We can take that. We're gonna look at your natal chart, but we're gonna look at your progress chart. I think I looked at your progress chart the other day. So I want to make sure we did look at this before. And we looked into the future. As it pertains to your progressed chart, you progress into being a Virgo rising, 26 degrees. Ms. Patterson, I think. And you have Pluto, you have Lilith and Pluto conjunct your ascendant. So just know that there's a possibility of your body taking total transformation. I know you didn't ask that, but that's what I see. Now, your 5th house has Capricorn on it. And the 5th house normally represents like your short-term relationships, your romantic relationships. Your 7th house rules your long-term relationships. So since you don't have any planets here, you maybe have some asteroids that just didn't put it in the chart. What I do is I look at the ruler of this sign, Capricorn. And Capricorn is ruled by the planet Saturn. Your Saturn is in the sign of Taurus. It's conjunct Amor, which in astrology represents the condition one places on unconditional love, the understanding of what love is, and meaning what interferes or blocks the love and acceptance of self or others. It's conjunct your moon and conjunct your Saturn, and it all conjunct your Bacchus. So what this means is, especially in the sign of Taurus, and your Venus is there as well, this is showing that your partner will be more spiritual than anything, your short-term romantic partner, that is. They'll be more stable financially, and possibly somebody from a different country, a different culture, a different walk of life. They may have the capacity to love unconditionally and be connected and very family-oriented. Bacchus is there, though, and it's conjunct your Saturn. Now, this Bacchus normally represents, if you didn't know, it represents excess, addictions, attempts to manage feelings, people, and situations through substance or avoidance. All right. So whenever I see this right here, they tell me that this partner is going to have somewhat of an addiction. Will they be intelligent? There's a strong possibility because Venus, which is the ruler of Taurus, is conjunct Mercury. So they will have some form of intellect. Yes. There's a possibility they may be matured, more older, and from a different country. But they may have something that they are addicted to. And this could be some in the form of food or something that's pleasurable. Giving you a warning, that's what I see here as it pertains to that question. So they will have a base level intelligence for most definitely. Um, what does the eclipse mean for me? Well, in your progress chart, on April 8th, you have Aries on your 8th house. In your natal chart, it's sitting in ninth, but in your progress chart, it's sitting in your 8th house, and it's widely conjunct your Chiron. Now, the 8th house rules sex, death, regeneration. It rules taxes and bills, other people's property, inheritance, all of the sort. Okay. When an eclipse is happening and it's sitting in your 8th house, this can be dealings that may be conflicting when it comes to bills or paying a certain bill that you probably forgot about. It may just show up out of nowhere. It can also create an intense experience. I've seen, and I'm not saying, speaking this on your life, I've seen where people may have experienced what I call the Kundalini arising when the eclipse is in the sign of Aries and sitting in the 8th house, meaning that there's going to be an awakening experience. This could come in the form of near-death experience or a feeling that something has transformed or changed that you have no control over. And that's what I see happening for you. It's either one of those things because of the energy of the 8th house. I know it's different because your Aries is ruled by Mars and your Mars is in the sign of Aquarius, in the 6th house. So this could be connected to your daily work and routine, and also any kind of illnesses or things that you may have overlooked. And because your Mars is in Aquarius, this could also be in the form of iron deficiency or autoimmune circumstances that may come up out of the blue. And I say that because of the ruler of the 8th is sitting in the 6th and is going to be sitting there. So it's sort of a connection to that as well. It's all dragged into the whole particular thing. There may be a shift in your work also, if you are working, that is, Miss Patterson. And your last question, what is my purpose in this lifetime? Thank you. That's your question. Your purpose in this lifetime, based upon your natal chart, because your North Node is sitting in your 7th house, and it's sitting in the sign of Aquarius, 22nd degree. Your Uranus is in Libra, sitting in the 3rd, which is the rule of Aquarius. And your Juno is sitting in the 11th house, conjunct Moon in Gemini. So what I see here is your purpose in this lifetime, because your previous lifetime, you were focused on yourself, on your talents and skills, and being what I call in the spotlight. In this lifetime, you are here to be what I consider the help partner of your partner, but in a non-traditional way. In a non-traditional way, you are to survive and experience the non-traditional, non-attachment or non-attachment to your partner without the feeling of ownership or feeling as if you have to be in control. Releasing any of those things. I say that because Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and your Uranus is sitting in the sign of Libra that rules partnership. It also shows, because it's sitting in the 3rd house, that you are to learn how to have, how should I put this, very emotionally intelligent, because the Moon and Juno conjunct each other. The Moon, emotions, Gemini, intelligent. Relationships with this, I consider unconventional partnerships. You are to display emotional intelligence through your communication in your relationship that is very much non-traditional. And I know you're like, well, I'm thinking I'm supposed to be doing something great. That is great. Every single person, we normally feel as if we're supposed to be doing something amazing, like something that will change the world. Everybody feels that way. But you have to understand that you, focusing on you, and focus on your purpose helps to change the world, one soul at a time. When looking at your sun, opposite to it, exactly opposite to it, is where your earth is. And lo and behold, your earth, if your sun is in Aries, the opposite sign is Libra. And it's in 10 degrees. So that means that your earth will be 10 degrees, which will be conjunct Uranus in the 11th house. Your earthly purpose is to bring people together in a, what I should say, in a counseling way. So your purpose is to counsel people in these, what I consider unconventional relationships. You're going to find yourself, meeting now new friends who need that assistance to some degree. So that's your earthly purpose and your soul purpose all in one. I want to thank you for choosing me to help guide you in this lifetime. And we're on to the next person. And let me scroll up. Spiritual advisor. Next person, please. Lauren Nelson. All right. We're going to do that chart. Lauren Nelson. I can't put this off again. All right. So we're gonna get this on. Miss Lauren Nelson. Lauren Nelson, let me see if I find your chart. Because people be sending their information and deleting it. I don't understand that. But here. So Lauren Nelson asks, why am I so attached to a past relationship? Well, we're going to dig deep into your chart and figure it out. The next question, what are my true gifts? And the third, what do you feel is helpful for me to know? We could get into it. Definitely. As it pertains to your first question, why am I so attached to a past relationship? We're going to look either at your progressed or your natal chart to see why that is. There could be some addictions. I don't know. Maybe you need to take a look at the synastry. But I'm going to look and see. But I already see why. When we look at relationships or short-term relationships, like I said, the 5th house and the 7th house are directly connected to these relationships. If you look at your chart, you have an addiction, an obsession, because Pluto, the planet Pluto, normally represents control, manipulation, obsession, jealousy, possessiveness, power. And it's at 21 degrees. And your Juno, which represents your long-term partner or relationship partner, is conjunct your Pluto. This is more than just an attachment, sugar. You are obsessed with this relationship, or this person in this relationship is obsessed with you. Alongside the possessiveness or ownership or control, whatever, karma, because it's Pluto normally represents karma. You have Saturn in the sign of Libra in the 5th house. And Saturn is longevity. It brings longevity, and Libra rules partnership. This asteroid here actually rules Libra. So when you have Jupiter, which represents abundance, conjunct Saturn, and Pluto conjunct Juno, that means that this is not the only person that either was obsessed with you or you obsessed with them. This is a pattern in your life. This is something that you do so often to the point where it is subconscious. You probably don't even know that this is the patterns of your relationship, but that's what it's showing. That's what I see. And that's the reason why you're so attached to a past relationship. It's because it's never really passed. The two planets that rules karma, Saturn and Pluto, is in the sign that rules Libra, which means that these people or this person is a past life partner of yours. Y'all been doing this over and over and over again. Question number 2, what are my true gifts? Ascendant in Gemini, you have the gift of gab, being able to communicate and talk with people. You have Chiron and Taurus in the 12th house. You have the gift of dreams, of helping people with those. Mars in Cancer, the gift of empathy, with your Mercury in Cancer, the gift of memory, and this could be past, anything in the past, because Mercury in Cancer brings about the energy of nostalgia. So you have the gift of home caretaking, of cooking, of cleaning and taking care of the home, so to speak, especially with cleaning and organizing the home. So that's an earthy sort of gift. You have Venus in Leo, shows that you have the gift of inspiration and the gift of motivation. You can motivate people. But that same tongue that you can motivate people, because Leo is on your 3rd house, can be the same tongue that can cut people up. But you have the gift of motivation and inspiration. Your North Node is there. Your South Node is in Aquarius, which means you have the gift of magnetism. Also, the gift of humanitarianism, being able to look out for more than just yourself. You have the gift of selflessness. With your moon in Pisces, you have the gift of empathy. And because it's sitting in the 10th house, it sort of it sort of helps with the over emotionalism of your Cancer traits. Because it's sitting in the 10th house, you have the capability of having some level of emotional intelligence. Jupiter and Saturn in Libra, Pluto and Juno in Libra, you have the gift of diplomacy, being able to communicate and talk your way out of anything. You also have the gift of being able to be fair and have great judgment. You have, like I said, the gift of prophecy, gift of empathy, gift of psychic ability, the gift of dreams. Those are your gifts. Last but not least, something that you need to know right now. And looking at your chart, now what you need to know is, oh, so I don't know what it is you do for a living, Lauren, but when the ruler of your MC is sitting conjunct the fixed star Regulus, because that's what 29 degrees, 18 minutes, and your North Node is also conjuncted. What I see here is that this normally represents a sort of a promotion, a raise, somewhere where you will be exalted to some degree, put in the spotlight. I see that happening. Even though your ascendant is in Cancer, which sort of brings about a feeling of being the mother or nurturer. I see that here. And as you can see, even with this stellium in Libra, again, the energy of the Venus conjunct Pluto and Jupiter conjunct Saturn and conjunct Vesta, and your moon is conjunct all of this stuff. You are going to pretty much be very much relationship oriented. You won't want to feel lonely. Health wise, because you have Sagittarius and Neptune there, this and Dark Moon Lilith, there could be issues dealing with if you're not taking care of liver and kidney, gallbladders situation going on here. I say that because Jupiter rules Sagittarius, and your Jupiter is in the sign of Libra that rules like kidneys and the hips. So I see, being careful about, doing exercises, but make sure that you stretch because there could be a problem with the hips, the thighs, kidneys, gallbladder, and liver. That's right. All of those in one. Just make sure to check up on yourself, take care of yourself when it comes to that. Now, this person who you feel addicted to, because the rule of your seventh house is Saturn. And Saturn is in Libra, conjunct Jupiter, conjunct your moon. And that means that at this point in time, that person who you were addicted to is karmic, like we talked about. It's gonna be that like that for a little while. You probably won't want to leave this guy. There's a possibility that y'all gonna be rocking it for the rest of your life until you leave this earth, probably, or until he leaves this earth. So that's what I see here. Thank you very much for choosing me, Lauren. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your evening. All right. Okay, so who is next? Spiritual advisor. Bernadette Willis. All right, Bernadette Willis. We're not putting you on off again. Yes, today is the last day that I'm going to be doing this for a while. So, but not for a while, probably till next week. Let me look for your information. Bernadette Willis. Show yourself, Bernadette Willis. All right. Gonna put up your information. Y'all be having these, y'all be looking good for these ages y'all be putting up. I don't be seeing it. It's a real saying, boy. Black don't crack. All right. You were Bernadette, what you didn't do is you did not give me your place of birth if you are here. Let me see if I have your chart already, because people be giving me half. Listen, put your date of birth, time of birth, and place of birth. Please. Do not leave anything out. All right, I already got our chart, so we good. Okay, Brandon Willis, you were born, East Meadow, New York. All right, got you. I think so. Hold on. Yeah, East Meadow, New York. So your question is, or your questions are, why did I meet PJ? Why did I meet PJ? That's a really, that's a really unique question. Why did I meet PJ? Anyway, I think I need to call you on that one. Question number 2. When will I get paying clients? Okay. Let's take a look at your progress chart. And where should I focus for my self-mastery? All right. So we're looking at your chart. When will you be getting paid? Just got paid. Friday night. So check this out. When it comes to money, the second house is the indicator of money. Also, the sign, the planet Venus, and the ruler of this sign that's sitting on your second house. So let's take a look at what's going on. First and foremost, your North Node is there at this point in time in your progress chart, which means your focus is supposed to be on this. Now, the thing is, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Your Jupiter is in the 6th house. You doubt your skills. You want paying clients, but you need to be more confident. Whenever Jupiter is sitting in the 6th house, even if it's in Aries, which brings a sense of confidence, the fact that it's sitting in the 6th house means that even though you're confident, there is still a level of confidence that you have not applied because of it having self-doubt. The 6th house normally critiques itself. And also, you have Neptune sitting in your second house. And wherever Neptune is where you sort of sacrifice, is where you become the martyr. It's where you help the collective. Wherever Pisces and wherever Neptune is where you help the collective. It's also where you don't know how to have boundaries. And you need to learn how to have boundaries when it comes to money. Neptune in the second house can fall as a sucker for sad stories. So there could be people who come to you and say, oh, I don't have it. Oh, you have to stand on ground. Be confident. Be strong. Put yourself out there and stand on business. Period. And the fact that you have Toro there, and Toro, this asteroid, represents bullying, intimidation, doing hard work, physical work, strength, flexing, challenging others, rough treatment, competitive. When I see that conjunct your Neptune, clear indication that you feel as if these people, may not, if you charge too much, they may, not like what you're doing, or feel as if, or you may feel as if you're putting on too much for them when it comes to charging. You have to learn how to release that based upon this placement right here. Your Venus, which is in Cancer, is very intuitive, but it wants the person to intuit that you want money. Okay. And you have to learn how to be less passive aggressive with that. Now there's a Saturn Venus conjunction. Saturn restricts, it limits, it makes you responsible. And whenever Saturn is conjunct the planet Venus, this could be a sort of restriction of money based upon your own sense of, how should I put this, piousness. You need to be more straightforward. Say it, be on business, but also the only way you're going to draw it is if you give away. So there's a sort of a balance between giving away or helping the collective and the universe providing money for you. So your experience may not come through paid clients, but the universe will still take care of you. I'm just saying that that's a strong possibility, but also the possibility that you standing on ground in business is also going to provide that. You have to also, wherever Neptune is where you have to give of yourself, a sort of a small sacrifice. And the universe takes care of you. Don't worry about it. Just continue doing what you're doing, but also give back for free. And you've probably been doing it. You said that you want to know when you're going to get paid clients. Don't worry, the universe is going to take care of you. I can promise you that. Question number 3, where should I focus for my self-mastery? Well, as a Pluto conjunct Libra, ascendant in the first house, your mastery is the mastery of self and loving yourself, finding yourself to be beautiful, and not necessarily in a selfish, shallow way, or trying to, change your body to be beautiful, but to allow yourself to love yourself and to be beautiful, regardless of what you may think is something that you need to change with your physical body. Also, your moon is sitting in the second house in Scorpio. That means it's accidentally exalted by the house and accidentally in fall in the sign. So there is a sort of a releasing of traumas that you need to continue to do, because that moon in the second house can be stubborn and hold on to things. Just like the moon in Scorpio, you have a double whammy. You have to, a reception. You have to learn how to release anything that's deep within your subconscious mind. I would start by going way, way deep on the inside. Not only that, your Venus is in Taurus and is sitting in the 8th house. So it's in, it's domiciled by sign, but it's in fall by the house. And that's also clear indication that one needs to learn how to not be so obsessed with your financial situations because it's going to be up and down regardless of the amount of effort you put into it. Mm, Mercury in the sixth house in Pisces, Jupiter in Aries. Oh my gosh, you got a whole stellium in Aries. Learning how to be more assertive in any partnership, but from a feminist, I mean, from being more feminist, okay, a feminine, better word to say. You yourself have this also, your Mars in Aquarius sitting in the fifth house. And I would say that your shadow work also is in connection to the partnerships and friends that you associate with. They are going to share parts of you, or probably have been doing it, um, slightly, without saying words, actually, about things that you may need to shift and shape within yourself. And I know what people think in their head is none of your business, but there's a part of your shadow work based upon this. And that's why I see where your self mastery is. Is it within your, like yourself, your physical body, learning how to love yourself, and also with your Saturn in Capricorn and in the 10,000 Cancer, also nurturing one's family or feeling or releasing the guilt of responsibility towards your family as well. All right. And also, why did I meet PJ? Well, because you now have Mars and Aquarius in your fifth house. You also, I mean, in your natal chart, you are going to meet very different, strange, eccentric men who have a dark past to some degree or secret past. They may have situations dealing with finances that they can't control. And for some apparent reason, you are here to help with that. The reason why I say that is because Mars sitting in your fifth house, so romantically, whatever this person is, or causal, Mars sitting in Aquarius, Aquarius ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is sitting in the second house of money and sign of Scorpio. And that's a clear indication there's a possibility that this person, you're supposed to help them financially to some degree to get their shit together. All right. So that their self esteem could be strong. All right. And that's what I see here based upon this. Thank you for choosing me to guide you in this lifetime. I appreciate you for being here. Okay. All right. Who's next? Spiritual advisor. Trinette Jordan. Okay. Trinette Jordan. Let me make sure this person is on the list because I don't remember. Grinette. Okay. I see the name here. I don't see any questions or no date of birth. I don't see it. If they have like another Facebook name, I don't. I mean, they need to send me, and they didn't send me anything. Okay. 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 So I have Raven Cotton. Let me put. So I think Raven Cotton also. Um, this person is Violet Suet. Okay. So let's go. Let me put up this chart. Raven Cotton, you go right next after. And let me just focus on this person right now. Violet Stewart, December 14, 1982. December 14th, 1982. And Violet Seward, born 5:02 p.m. and Cincinnati, Ohio. 5:02 p.m. Cincinnati, Ohio. All right, let's go. If I spell your name wrong, I know I put 2 T's in. I'm going to just fix that for you. And the question is, let me put it up on the screen. Oh, I need some kind of guidance. It's so much to my life that I feel is due to my date of birth. Anything you can tell me, I need to hear. All right, so I want you to understand that before you even came here, you chose this date of birth. All right, you chose all of this. Every single thing that's happened to you is something that you predestined for yourself to happen. You're not a victim of your experience. You are the creator. You are the God that created your experience in this lifetime. You're not subject to this chart. Nobody is. It is a map of what you've chosen before you came here. Okay? Just want to clarify that for you. All right. What's going on in your life now? Well, first and foremost, I noticed that you have you're a Gemini rising. Most Gemini risings have Pisces sitting on their 10th house. So there's always going to be some cloudiness when it comes to your career. Okay? You're always going to feel like you don't know what you need. And then with your Neptune conjunct your sun in the 7th house, and then you have Uranus there. So anybody that has Uranus in the 7th house will experience a thing or two. One of those things that they can experience is instability in long-term relationships. This normally is an indicator of divorce. Normally, I said, is an indicator of a 5 to 7 year relationships, and that's because in previous lifetimes, where Uranus is the indicator where you got stuck. Uranus on Aquarius is the indicator where you got stuck, where you just you stick with a routine, you got lost, did not fulfill your purpose because of where these placements are. Okay. And with that Uranus in your 7th house, it could possibly be that you got stuck in relationships. I say that because your Bacchus is also conjuncted and sitting in the 7th house, which means you are addicted to love. You're addicted to the idea of love, the feeling of it. And not only are you addicted to it, you also become disillusioned by it, delusional to some degree, based upon the conjunction of your Neptune and Sun sitting in the 7th house, because you're very optimistic. That sign of Sagittarius and the moon there is normally an optimistic placement. Okay. And then you're born on a new moon, so there's a lot of flexibility that goes on when it comes to that. You also have your Venus conjunct your South Node. Now, South Node is the indicator of past lives to some degree, or things that you need to get over. And when there's a conjunction between Mercury and Venus sitting, and South Node is sitting conjunct that means that you were really caught up in the tradition of long-term relationships. You're saying that, you feel like you need to hear that you need to let that shit go. And I'm talking about subconsciously, whether you're in a relationship or not, or holding on to the past of that relationship. I know, because this is sitting in the 8th house of sex, death, regeneration. And that's also an indicator of, being, focused on a particular thing and being stubborn about it. I know, because I too have South Node in the 8th house. So I know. And this is showing that you can be a little stubborn when it comes to that and want a sense of a tradition. And holding on to these things can cause a problem. It's crazy because you have Mars in Aquarius, which means that you normally attract men who are very emotionally intelligent, but emotionally unavailable as well. Yeah, so that's what I see. I see that. Pluto in the fifth house, becoming obsessed when you like somebody, almost to the point where one of your gifts is investigation. And one may need to learn how to release that. Okay. All right. And that's what I see when it comes to your chart. That's your natal chart, and your progress chart is saying at this point in time, with Jupiter and Uranus in your sixth house, Neptune there, that you're like my friend earlier, low iron. You have to intake and take more iron in whenever Uranus is sitting in the sixth house. There's normally, especially in the sign of Sagittarius, conjunct Jupiter, normally an indication of anemia, low blood, or low iron circumstances. Um, what I see, so node sitting in Capricorn in the seventh house, your North Node in Cancer. Right now, you're here to focus on your family, and the spiritual intelligence of your family. You're here to help them because Cancer is ruled by the moon, and your moon is in the 12th house of past lives, of connected to um, hotels, prisons, hospitals, prisons, and asylums. And you also have it in Gemini. This means especially about information and knowledge. And what I'm getting from this is that because this is a three and this is a three, it's showing me that this has to do something with creativity of action. And this means that you're here at this point in time to stand in the gaps for your family, to be a leader of your family, to give them information and knowledge of the spirit world and spirit realm and things that can help them to evolve spiritually. This is what you're here to do right now at this point in time. All right. I want to thank you for choosing me to help guide you in this lifetime. I truly appreciate you. Raven Cotton, you are next. Let me make sure I got your chart. All right. So the first question is, wait. All right. My three questions are, will I be successful with opening this beauty supply store? First and foremost, let's take a look. Let me do a secondary chart and see how it's looking. Will you be successful with this beauty supply store? Well, you have Eros there, conjunct your moon. And one of your gifts right now, or talents, has to do with beauty and fashion. Whatever's on the fifth house is where you have natural talents. And Libra rules partnerships, marriage, commitment, being fair, and also beauty and fashion. Because your Nessus is there. Nessus normally represents generous and willing to help, and also, feeling like a victim to some degree. And what I see here with Bacchus being there and your Juno being conjunct Pluto in the sixth house, because Juno normally is really the ruler of Libra. And your Pluto is conjunct that, and so is your dark moon Lilith. The more it's going to be successful based upon your work and daily routine. And that because the sixth house rules health, work and service, daily routines. So this is totally up to you if it be successful. And this is the more work you put into it, the better it is. So based upon your possibility of you working and working and working, because you also have Sun in Virgo at this point in time, Mercury in Virgo, Venus in Virgo, Ceres in Virgo. The more you work, because that's what Virgo rules, the more assets, the more people come in, the more you shine, the more you get to the top. All right, so that would be successful. Yes. My place of birth is Milwaukee, Wisconsin. My full name. Okay, I know you. What are the major transits impacting my life? Well, your Mars has progressed into your first house. We look at your natal chart. It's still in your first house, but it's in the sign of Gemini. All right. So that means that you're probably, drawn to more emotionally intelligent men. As a matter of fact, there's sort of a connection, a feeling. What I also see based upon the change of your chart is that your Pluto is conjunct your Juno, and that's normally an indication of a partner that, that deceased and that may have left this earth. And I think I pointed this out to you before because in your natal chart, you have Pluto conjunct Juno, conjunct descendant. That's normally an indication of somebody who lost a partner, a long-term partner, or a partner that is. And I think you mentioned, after I mentioned that you lost your child's father. He died, I think you said. And this is what I call this placement right here. It's called the Black Widow placement. Whenever Pluto is conjunct Juno and conjunct the descendant, this is considered the Black Widow's placement, which means that there's karma when it comes to death and partners. Okay. And what I see based upon this is that it shifted. It shifted for you. And it shifted into co-workers or people who you work with or who work for you, employees or co-workers. What lesson you're here to learn is partners and losing them. Okay. And that's what I see, that you have to learn how to come to grips with people coming into your life and exiting in a more tragic way. Sounds crazy, but that's just anybody that has that, what I call the Black Widow placement of this conjunction, three conjunction, always seem to experience that. And what can you expect in the coming year? That's a return chart. All right. Let me make sure I get this one here, August 23rd. Let me hide the current. What I see, the current year, what you look forward to is being highlighted. Woo. When the ruler of your MC is sitting in 11th house and is sitting in Gemini, well, you need to look forward to more advertisement for your business. I also see, based upon this, that there's going to be a sort of a male figure that teaches you something that's going to help you to expand your knowledge. I say that because your MC, which is in Aries, and the ninth house ruling philosophy, spirituality, it represents your foreign places, foreign cultures, countries, anything dealing with what you're learning from a deeper perspective is in Aries, conjunct your North Node, which means it is fated. Aries is ruled by Mars, and your Mars is in Gemini, which rules knowledge, information, being taught. I know that because Jupiter is the teacher and is conjuncted. And because it's sitting 11th house, this person could be, long distance, could be somebody from social media, but it's here to help you to expand, to know more, and to apply to your work and to your money. See, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and your Mercury is in the second house of money, assets, and finances now in this solar return. And it's conjunct Nemesis and conjunct Venus. And this is a great placement. So whatever information, knowledge, whether it be from just one particular person or many, is here to help you with your knowledge, help you to connect with more people, and to expand your work so that your money can expand. All right. I want to thank you for help choosing me in this lifetime. Truly appreciate you. All right. Who is next? Spiritual advisor. Mel B next. Okay. Mel B needs to does Mel B have her information? You could copy and paste it so we could take a look at that because I'm not seeing much people. Mel B. Okay. You say you sent it on Facebook and I'm looking in my message. Okay, I see y'all now. I see you guys now. I see you, Melro and Tatiana Johnson. I see you guys. So Tatiana Johnson is also here as well. She sent it before Mel B. So let's go with Mel B, then Tatiana Johnson. All right, Mel B, thank you for your contribution. I'm going to plug in your date of birth and your information. Listen, I don't want you to go to sleep because my voice can put you to sleep. Let's listen carefully. My voice can put you to sleep because it's trained to do that. All right. All right. Let's look. Date of birth. Oh, and you born the same day as me. That's what I'm talking about. And you are a Leo rising just like me. That's pretty cool. And you're born in Chicago, just like, well, not me. Like somebody I know. So, and you have the same degree as, well, 24 degrees. That is, mine is a little different. All right. So the first question: will I ever change from being a Leo rising? If so, when? You've already changed, Ms. Rogers. You've changed. You actually, all right. You've changed. Let me delete this chart, and I think I got your chart twice here. Yeah, I spelled it wrong the first time. I spelled it Rogers with a D. So we're gonna delete all of those, and we're gonna start with this right here. All right, so Miss Rogers, you actually are now a Virgo rising. Well, according to this, there you go. So now you're a Virgo rising, Miss Rogers, Mel B. So, will you ever change from being a Leo rising? If so, when? That's been for the past 26 years. You are a Leo rising. You can continue to be a Leo rising. That's still the basis of who you are. But your progress chart shows that you've also acquired the energy of the Virgo. And that is going to change within the next 3 years and 7 months. You're going to be into the Libra rising. So you're going to be looking more cuter, more finer, more sexier, getting all kind of suitors. And I don't know if you're married or not. I'm just saying that it's just going to be, when you go into Libra rising, it's just the sign of beauty and fashion. So that's the answer to that. What changes can I expect within the coming year? All right. Let's look at the return chart. We're going to go into the coming year. So we got to stay with this one here because your year just started. All right. We're going to look at the solar return for you. And I don't know what changes, but this is a tough run right here. This normally is an indicator of something secretive happening within the family with a male figure, something that's sexual. This could be something, it could be a family member. It doesn't have to be somebody who lives in your house, but it could be something that's a little sinister that may happen. I say that because the rest normally represents nurturing, mothering, family. The sun is conjuncted, and so is Mars. Mars is not comfortable in the fourth house. Imagine a planet that rules sex, aggression, conflict is sitting in the house that rules the home, the family, your, the ancestors and things that make you to feel comfortable is sitting there. And it's sitting in the sign of Scorpio that rules sex, death, regeneration, control, manipulation. I see based upon this that there may be something experienced in the family. All right. There could possibly be, I know people don't like me to predict this, but there could possibly be some form of situation dealing with a family member in the home that you grew up with. They could be experience some form of DEATH. Okay. That's what I see. Yeah. I don't know what it is for you, but that was really heavy. I also see that your Jupiter is conjunct your MC, so that could be a what I consider a sort of a lift, uh, a raise, or a promotion, or something where your money becomes more abundant. All right, look out for that money situation. Also, see where your Juno is in your second house in Virgo. That could represent some form of partnership, and this partnership could be somebody in the neighborhood or a sibling or somebody who you consider a friend or a sibling, like of that nature. I also see issues of past relationships coming back, texting you and calling you or wanting to communicate with you more. I also see at this point in time, you know, your purpose being connected to learning more about spirituality, focus on, developing oneself, traveling more. All right. I see that based upon this. And also, you can have opportunities of speaking with people from a different country, different culture, and helping them to understand their own autonomy. It may come in the form of one person or two persons, but that's what I see. The women on my mom's side of the family live into their mid 90s. Will I live that long in this lifetime? All right, this great question. You have Jupiter sitting in your eighth house in the sign of Pisces. I would say yes. Yes, I would say that as a Leo rising and having your sixth house. Having Neptune here is not really a good placement, but Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and your Saturn is in the fifth house in Sagittarius. So I follow the sign, the planet rules Sagittarius, and it's Jupiter, and your Jupiter is in the eighth house of sex, death, regeneration, which means that you have luck. You like what we consider the cat of nine lives. There's normally a placement of long life. You will live long. There's no need to be afraid. If you're going to die, you're going to die in your sleep based upon what I'm looking at a ripe old age. All right. Hope I answered your question. Let's go. All right. So that's Tatiana Johnson. Okay. Try my best to get you guys our year. Tatiana Johnson. And you were born the 28th March 1993, 45 p.m. and you were born Bronx. That's what I'm talking about. I'm a Bronxer myself, even though I wasn't born there. 3:45 p.m. March 29. La la la. Okay, let's go. Question number one: who am I? They girl them sugar. Sorry, that was that's a Jamaican song. Y'all never get it. Who am I? That's who you are. You are Tatiana Johnson in this lifetime, but you are definitely somebody else. You are. You've lived many lifetimes, so this is only the moment. I mean, the person that you are in this lifetime. However, when I want to look at who you are, the core of the moon, the sun, and the ascendant would give me a sort of a understanding. Your sun is sitting in the sign of Aries in the 8th house. You are a builder and a destroyer. You are a creator and a destroyer, all in one. You are here to experience very intense transformations in this lifetime. So I would say you are a transformer. Okay. You are also an empathetic counselor to your friends and associates. They look to you for guidance. They look to you to help them to understand the circumstances of their family and anything that's emotionally draining for them. Okay? Because of the fact that you bring a sense of stability and a feeling of groundedness spiritually or philosophically based upon the 9th house. You are someone who is driven by their purpose, someone who is here to help the collective in a very direct and strong way. When the rule of your sun is sitting in the 6th house and is in the sign of Aquarius, you are a mover and a shaker. You're here to bring a sense of healing, a deep sense of healing that is very non-traditional, and one that is here to help humanity. Who are you? You are an evolved and advanced soul. What I see is that you are also your own worst enemy. And your alienation of yourself, or to some degree, elitism of yourself, can create separation from you and your purpose. So question number two: what are my spiritual gifts? 1, you are a physical healer. 2, you are a counselor. 3, you are magnetic. The words that come out of your mouth can help either break somebody or make them. Okay? You are here. Your words are here to shift and make people to feel your passion. You are a trendsetter, somebody who moves to the march and the beat of your own drum. You are a herbalist, a healer. You also have the gift of Reiki, of energy healing. I get it feeling that even your hands are just like electric. They can help to heal people. We spoke about you being an initiator. You also have the gift of mediumship. The fact that your Mercury, which represents information, is in the 8th house. In conjunct Sedna, you are a natural medium through crazy ways, but it is. You have the gift of dreams, gift of compassion, of healing, of empathy, of nurturing. Those are your gifts. What's next for me in love? Okay. Good question. Let's see what's going on. First and foremost, you normally attract, like I said before, people from work, your relationships from people who you come in contact with, whether it be from a hospital, or a work situation. And these people are very emotionally unavailable, especially the males, unconventional. The more people tell you not to be with somebody, the more you are drawn towards them. So you are your own worst enemy when it comes to men. As it pertains to now, your Mars, which is an indicator of the kind of men you're instinctively attracted to, is the ruler of your seventh house of long-term relationships. Your Mars is sitting in the sign of Pisces and is sitting in the sixth house. As it pertains to love or relationship, I see something happening. I see where you can feel sorry for another male. You can meet them either through work or through the hospital or an asylum, or there may be men who needs help who just came from prison or somewhere that needs your rescue. At this point in time, your need to be needed is very, very strong. And it can override anything because your Venus is also in Pisces. So you have the ability to have unconditional love as it pertains to your next relationship. It's going to come out of nowhere, out of the blue. It's going to be sporadic. You shouldn't be holding on to anyone or anything too long because your fifth house just rules romantic relationships. Has Aquarius on it, and you have North Node there. It's conjunct Lilith, which normally is an indicator of, competition, selection, rejection, feeling rejected, or feeling as if somebody loyalty isn't strong, or somebody using sex, or you using sex, or somebody just connecting with you in a sexual plane or a sexual level and feeling a sense of being used. I would say that this is where you need to learn how to just practice non-attachment, because that's what I see. I see that sort of circumstances. People are coming out of nowhere uh, to want to be with you. And these people may be emotionally unavailable. There may be people who are just coming here, flying in and flying out. And that may be okay with you. If it is, then that's fine. But that's what I see here based upon that long-term relationship. If you actually turn any of them into a long-term relationship, and as you can see, you have Pluto conjunct Juno. That's normally the Black Widow placement, but it's in a different house. And I would say that if you make them a long-term relationship, it's going to be very toxic. So you should just ride with the flow of these experiences, learn from them, experience them, and grow through the releasing of the toxic traits and shadows that show up while it's dealing with these people. All right. All right. Okay. Uh spiritual advisor. What's next? I mean, what's happening? Am I done? Because I feel like I've been going. It's an hour and 19 minutes. Okay. Trinette Jordan was sent to me. Uh I don't know where they sent it. Let me try to they need to send me a message again, because I don't know where it says any messages, but a Trinette Jordan, which is this person right here, there is nothing. They need to send it to my personal chat, not my business chat. I don't know. There's not even a message in my personal one. I mean, in my business. So I don't see it. I don't know who you're messaging. You probably messaging. Oh, that's what you're doing. You're probably messaging those people um, who are pretending to be me. You have to delete those messages. And if you don't see a blue check to my name, then that is not me. There are about maybe 3 or 4 false people that want to have you in their inbox, and they want to get your money. All right, there you go. Now I need to know your 3 questions, because I see the date of birth, information, but I don't see the questions. All right. So we got the question. We got the date of birth and stuff. I need to know the questions. You can send to me privately. And you were born, I don't know, just something about Detroit. Everybody be from Detroit. And these are very advice, purpose, suggestion. Okay, you straightforward. You like, damn, I just want to give me this question. Hey, wait. Who Jordan is this? Is okay. All right. All right. The question is, you said advice. Let me look at your progress chart to see what's going on. Well, first, let's start with your purpose. What your purpose is in this lifetime. Now, normally, I take a look at the North Node and I look at the Earth. Wherever the sun is opposite to it is where the Earth is. So that means that your sun is in 24 degrees 53 minutes in Sagittarius. It's in 24 degrees 53 minutes in the sign of Gemini. And that would be, sort of conjunct your Mars. And that would tell me about your earthly purpose. Now, your soul purpose is connected to your North Node. Is sitting in your 12th house in Scorpio. So your purpose in this lifetime, spiritually, is to, believe it or not, experience detachment in your long-term relationship and release any traumas that you may have experienced, whether it be in this lifetime or a past life that is still plaguing you to this day. The reason why I say that is because your North Node is in Scorpio. Scorpio rules toxicity. It rules strength, power, obsession, control, manipulation, trauma, sex, death, regeneration. And then it's Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. And your Pluto is sitting in the 11th house in Libra. And Libra is the sign that rules beauty and fashion and partnership, long-term commitments, marriage. It's sitting in the 11th house of the collective, of the masses, social media. But I translate that as being detached, allowing yourself to detach from any trauma that you've experienced. Your purpose in this lifetime is to remove any trauma that you've experienced from previous lifetimes that have to do with marriage or long-term commitments. That's what I see here based upon this. Is your purpose is you need to find yourself a past life quantum healer and do some sessions. The more you do it, the more lighter you feel. The more you become one with source and God, and your life will feel a lot more lighter than it has been. It's going to be even more. Now, your Earth is in the 24 degree 53 minutes in the sign of Gemini in the 7th house. So learning how to communicate, learning how to be more direct in communication in your relationship, but in a diplomatic way, if you are in a relationship with anybody. Yeah. Okay. That's your early purpose, is to learn how to also to help counsel people and what you've experienced, the trauma that you've been through, any aggression or any kind of, I don't know if you've been through it, but your Mars is sitting in 7th house. And that's normally an indication of somebody who experienced at some degree in this life some sort of domestic violence, dealing with a partner or somebody who asserted their power over you in a committed relationship. In this lifetime, you're here to stand up for yourself, whether it be in a relationship, a communication, not allowing yourself to be taken advantage of just for the sake of not wanting to be alone. Because your moon is sitting in the seventh house. And that's normally an indication of somebody who does not like being alone. You could do it. Not saying that you can't be alone, but you prefer not to. Now, your Mercury's in Capricorn, so that sort of brings a sense of tradition to that situation or circumstance. I don't know what it is for you, but that's what I see here based upon that. So that's your purpose. That's your the advice that I give to you is, where's your shadows? Okay. Saturn and Leo in the ninth house. What I suggest to you is that you need to connect and travel more. If you do travel, then that's great. Then you probably is fulfilling that. But that's Saturn inside the ninth house and the sign of Leo. And Leo is ruled by the sun, and your sun is in Sagittarius that rules the ninth house naturally and rules foreign places, foreign cultures, foreign travel. It's telling me that at this point in time, you need to travel the world to learn different places and different things. That this is paramount for your evolution and spiritual growth. I guess it's something that you should not look past. And also, like I said, those releasing those traumas from those previous lifetimes as well. All right. Thank you very much for choosing me to help guide you in this lifetime. I truly appreciate each and every single one of you. As you know, I try to stay on here at least hour and 30 minutes to 2 hours. All right. And we will definitely I will reach out to Erica. She's not probably here right now, but she's gonna be all right. All right, y'all. Appreciate you guys. Y'all be safe. Enjoy. Spiritual advisor. Like I truly appreciate you and everybody who's been here. You could have been anywhere, but you choose to be here with me. I appreciate you. You enjoy the rest of your night. Good night.